Boheme Mykonos is a restored Cycladic manor that has become a sanctuary of light, serenity, and soul. Celebrated for its panoramic Aegean views and understated artistry, the hotel embodies the island's dialogue between nature and design, between Mykonos and its sacred neighbor, Delos. We sat down with Nikolina Christo, brand and growth consultant for Boheme Mykonos and funder of Dahan AI Agency, whose work bridges storytelling, design thinking, and artificial intelligence to help boutique hotels cultivate authentic experiences and meaningful growth. Thank you so much again for joining us today. We're really happy to have you, Nikolina.
I'm very happy to be here. Thank you very much.
We wanted to start off our conversation by kicking off and asking what inspired the creation of Boheme Mykonos and what was your vision from the beginning?
The inspiration of Boheme Mykonos was born from the island's own soul, from its deep connection with light, the sea, and the sacred energy of nearby Delos. So this light, ever-changing and alive, guided every decision behind Boheme's transformation. So what once was a historic Cycladic manor has become a sanctuary that breathes harmony, freedom, and creativity. So every curve, every stone, every ray of light tells a story, and one that unites past and present, nature and artistry. So the process itself was kind of spiritual, if we can say. We worked closely with local artisans from nearby islands and from Mykonos who understood the rhythm of the island, people who know how to shape like marble, wood, and clay in a way that feels organic. So the goal wasn't perfection, but truth, to allow the space to age gracefully and to carry history and future in the same breath. So our vision was never to simply, renovate a building, but to create a living refugee, a meeting point between natural beauty, the Myconian natural beauty, discreet luxury, and authentic hospitality. We wanted a place where guests don't just stay, but live Mykonos through stillness, taste, sound, and light. And with respect for the island's roots and the timeless dialogue between Mykonos and Delos, we continue to nurture the same spirit and inspired us from the beginning, like a constant harmony between the natural and the human, simplicity and beauty.
Almost feel myself enjoying a beautiful day on the Mykonos beach with all these descriptors that you're using to bring in that sense of well-being to your guests, and it sounds absolutely beautiful. The design of Boheme Mykonos blends minimalism with artistic touches. I know you mentioned a little bit about the creation of Boheme, but would you mind describing to us how did that aesthetic come together?
Even if we speak about the website, what we share with our users, with our guests, even in a digital environment, which we wanted to align with the real environment, everything begins with a deep respect for the island, like its natural beauty, the architecture, the traditions. Its design element follows the principle of authentic simplicity, like soft tones, natural textures, and open spaces that breathe in rhythm with a cycladic light. So we collaborate closely with local artisans and communities, of course, integrating handcrafted details in every layer of the experience, from design to gastronomy. Our philosophy is centered on discreet luxury and meaningful experiences. So like personal, deeply, deeply unpretentious and human.
Amazing. And I know you just mentioned gastronomy as well. So we know that Boheme has the Bilo restaurant and the Bilo bar, highlighting local ingredients and authentic Greek flavors. Can you share more about how your culinary team curates menus that celebrates and embraces those local traditions while also appealing to global tastes from tourists all around the world?
Yes, we're trying to have a meaningful guest experience from the moment that the people arrive at the entrance of the hotel, the moment they experience the room, the connection with our staff, and of course, gastronomy is a big part for the property, for all our properties, from Boheme, from Nomad, all our properties, we highlight gastronomy because food connects people. So the Bilo restaurant and Bilo bar highlights local ingredients and authentic Greek flavors. So gastronomy is a dialogue between tradition and creativity. So our chefs work closely with Mekonian and regional producers to source seasonal ingredients, crafting like menus that celebrate Greek authenticity while resonating with international palates. Yeah. So every dish tells a story of the island and honest, soulful, and elevated in its simplicity.
Thing that stood out when I was looking at your website as well, I noticed that Boheme is a small luxury hotel. My husband and I, when we were honeymooning after our wedding last year, we booked only stays at small luxury hotels. And I think I felt very strongly about that because I wanted to support more small and local. But I think there is something that speaks strongly to businesses that set themselves aside from like the Hyatts of the world. Can you tell us what makes Bohem different as well from other boutique hotels on the island?
Of course, very important, and we connect deeply with the island. We know the island, the founders, they live in the island. It's not just people that, they invest as hoteliers to a property. So they live there, their kids live there. They know the islands for years. The small luxury hotel is a beautiful selection of boutique hotels that they are soulful hotels. So every detail makes sense to the guest, is very nicely designed. It's not that corporate attention to the customer. It's that deeply authentic connection to the customer. It's not even a customer. We wanted to create a space that feels like you're home to the island and not home to an island, to a Greek island. When you go and visit your family and friends, the way they will look after you when you come to Greece. So that's why we have a lot of beautiful people that they come back to us for years. The kids come back to us. The grandkids come back to us for years. So we want to keep that. We want to connect with them even deeper. You mentioned honeymooners, and we have a lot of honeymooners coming there. We are very close to the town of Mykonos. I don't know if you've ever been to Mykonos. Yeah, okay. So the first thing a lot of people, when they think about Mykonos, it's partying and other things. What makes Bohem so unique is the location as well. So we are like so close to the town that you can just walk, but then you can have all this beautiful serenity in that space.
That's stunning. I do remember Mykonos we saved as our last stop because we had Athens, Paros, Santorini, and then Mykonos. And we did hear that it was more of a party island, but I didn't. And I think we did go to more of the party areas, but I think I was in search of more of that serenity and peace, especially as a honeymooner. We were so tired from the wedding planning. We really wanted that like peace and escape and the seaside outside of our window. So next time, I think I'll have to stay with you guys because there's more to Mykonos than just the 2 a.m. parties.
Definitely. And I think what everybody is experiencing, and there is a bias around the island, and that's why now it's happening the full transformation the last couple of years of the island, is understanding the truth of the island. Mykonos is not only partying. Of course, party is a big part of it, and the history and the bon viveurs and the bohemians. That's why we called our company the Bohemians, because we're deeply connected to art, we're deeply connected to music, gastronomy, and our intention is to stay true to that. Yeah. So I think everybody's experienced that. It's not that Ibiza, Mykonos party experience only. You can have that it's a small part of it, but you have to experience Mykonos as the true Mykonians do. Amazing gastronomy, amazing like experience around food, cheese. They make amazing wines, amazing beers. It's amazing what's been happening, and amazing artists like creating there all the year round and gallery.
And you mentioned authenticity and staying true to Mykonos as an island. Can you speak a little bit more about the funders, how they're living on the island? They're like deeply invested in the property and the hotel. Like you mentioned, it's not investors that are looking to make money off of tourists. It sounds like the funders are deeply invested in making it a meaningful experience for guests. Would you, yeah, mind sharing more about the people that are behind this hotel?
So the people that are behind this hotel, they are people that they have amazing experience in the industry for years. They've worked all the way through all the hierarchy from working in the hotels to becoming hoteliers, from working as travel agents or owning their own travel agency, coming up to becoming the hoteliers that they are today. They have several properties. One of the properties they are five-star properties. One is Boheme in Mykonos, and the other one is Nomad, again in Mykonos, another beautiful property. They spend now the company has got last year we got another property in Syros, Melatron. So what's been happening now? Syros to Mykonos is 20 minutes away. So with the boat. So in the winter they might be in Syros, but summer they are there. One of them is constantly there. So they know the seasons of the island when it's super windy. They know when the visitors need something, how they can give it to them. Like not just informations, you know how the hotels they suggest spaces and places to go and visit because there is that collaboration. It's all the information, as we mentioned earlier, that they will give to their family members when they come and visit. So all the experience around the industry and all the love around hospitality, the true hospitality that comes like being part of a family has been put into that project. Their amazing aesthetic reflects in every property because even their houses have a similar aesthetic and a concept behind. From the architects that they're friends and family to the interior designers to the chef, everybody is part of a family. So, and I think that's what our guests are experiencing.
I think something else that's standing out from this conversation, you mentioned authenticity throughout. Can you speak a little bit more about the importance of local materials and artisans? I know you touched upon the gastronomy aspect, but how important is it to have that local touch within your hotel and that family feel and making, I love how you share that like staying at Boheme is more like if you're visiting a grandma or an aunt or an uncle, like being taking care of guests the same way you take care of family.
Sustainability and the local materials is an important part for the company as the Bohemians in all our properties. Like sustainability is woven also into everything we do, you know, from energy and water management to the use of local and eco-friendly materials. Like we partner with local producers from fresh seasonal ingredients and minimize waste also through conscious daily practices. That this is also part of our everyday life as part of this company, starting from the founders. Yeah. So everything we do from design, operations, you know, embrace timeless elegance and over trend, providing the true luxury lies in responsibility and again authenticity in a way of where you're sourcing your products from you know, all the materials we're using, where you're going to sleep, the cotton that it's made in Greece, the candles that they are made in Greece, even the potteries that they are handmade in Greece, the plates you're eating, and of course the food you're eating with us. So all the details and everything we are using in the properties are made in Greece from local artisans and definitely local producers. It's a way, it's a cycle to support a community, support the island, and also express the true philosophy of Greece, how we used to produce products in the past and how we continue to produce the same products. And it's highly appreciated by our guests.
That was one of the aspects that stood out to me in my small luxury hotel stays that I appreciated all those little details of every part of the experience coming from locally within Greece and not it being everything here in the US. I feel like I ship from Amazon and it's all a big business, but I wanted to support local where I could. Another question that I had, I was listening to your podcast, one of your more recent episodes on with Casper Schmidt on boutique hotel transformation and AI powered growth. It sounds like you're very passionate about AI, and I also am an adamant believer in those that don't integrate AI into their businesses are doing themselves a disservice. Can you talk about the importance of integrating AI in the hospitality industry and how you do that with Boheme?
Of course, Casper is an amazing consultant, first of all, and it was a beautiful connection and a conversation with him. So at Boheme, technology acts as a discreet ally, amplifying our care with overstating it. So through AI insights, we anticipate guest needs, which is very important, tailor recommendations, and create seamless stay from booking to farewell. But we never allow technology to replace connection. So we specialize personally, I specialize in human computer interaction and emotional design. So we want to keep the truth between the connection between humans. Of course, technology serves something, yeah? So the human touch remains central in Boheme. Empathy, intuition, and attention are what define true hospitality. This is something that we've discovered with the founders, and I've seen that coming back. And there are practices that usually big corporate environments can apply, but it's amazing to see that coming up in amazing properties like Boheme, Nomad, and other properties. So through our work, we help boutique hotels like Boheme adopt intelligent systems that feel invisible. And for me, this is the smart way of applying technology in hospitality. That seamless experience, that the center of the whole journey is always the client, the customer, the guests, and you facilitate their needs.
Thank you so much for your time today, Nikolina.
Thank you so much.